No other drug in the recent past has been so controversial as much as the 50-year-old chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine drug. Uh, Chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine were found in 1950s, and since then they've been used as an anti-malarial drug in high malaria endemic regions across the world. Hydroxychloroquine, which is the milder version of chloroquine, has also over the years has been used as a drug for rheumatoid arthritis and lupus. Both of them are autoimmune disease, and patients of rheumatoid arthritis and lupus take this as a chronic therapy. Hydroxychloroquine, or HCQ as it's commonly used, and chloroquine came to use for COVID-19 in Wuhan when physicians who had no other options, no other treatment options against the coronavirus, started using this drug on patients who were admitted in hospitals. Why was it used? Because in labs, the drug showed to have anti-inflammatory and antiviral properties. Now, what is shown in labs, of course, completely changes when it is actually administered in patients. But this drug was also used at that time because it's widely available and it's cheap. And there was no other treatment options for coronavirus at that time. Even now, we still do not have it. But of course, there's been many progress made since then. When did the whole controversy about HCQ start? It started off, or it took a massive political turn when United States President Donald Trump said that he was ordering huge quantity of HCQ for stockpiling in the United States against coronavirus. He also claimed that he was taking the drug as prophylaxis or as a preventive measure against COVID-19. So there are two arms of HCQ. One, it's been used in hospital settings as a treatment option, and there is a second usage where it is used as a prophylactics about all those health workers or all those who work in high risk COVID zones have also been asked to use this drug as a prophylaxis. So these are two arms of the drug that is in use continuously. Now let's come to the research issues. This drug has also divided the scientific community and physicians across the world. There is one side who believes that the drug does have some potential to treat COVID-19 patients. And on the other side, there is a large number of physicians who think that the drug has absolutely no impact on COVID-19 patients. So a similar study was published by medical journal Lancet last week, which said that the drug not only had no benefit against coronavirus, it in fact hastened the deaths of severely ill COVID-19 patients in hospital settings. Now, this study, of course, became hugely controversial, where questions were raised across the world about should hospitals be even using this drug, considering it's so lethal. The World Health Organization was also caught in the crossfire about this research paper, because WHO is running a solidarity trial which has HCQ as one of the arms. The solidarity trial is a multi-country trial where almost 13 countries will try 5 different drugs for coronavirus and collect data and see which one of them works. Because we don't have any new drug coming in, what we're doing is we're depending on old therapy options that could perhaps work against the disease. So HCQ is one of the arms of the solidarity trial. So of course, there were questions raised against WHO also, that should WHO go ahead and continue the trial when the evidence says that it does not even work, but it also sort of fastens the death. Now, what happened after the study was published? WHO came under pressure and said that it was halting the solidarity arm of HCQ. It took the decision on the basis of this paper that was published. What happened 2 days later was that several other epidemiologists and physicians wrote an open letter to Lancet and the researchers who published this paper and questioned the research methodology. They said that the evidence and the whole trial numbers which they were showing was not strong enough to come to this conclusion. This meant that the entire paper was put under review, which finally led to Lancet retract this controversial paper on the basis of which WHO had taken its decision. As these controversies were going on, several countries objected to WHO's stand of hastily stopping this trial. India was also one of them. India is also doing several HCQ trial along with another antibacterial drug called erythromycin. So it's a combination drug that India is trying. India also, of course, which is also part of the Solidarity trial, raised objection to WHO that it should not have stopped the trial in a hasty manner, which led to WHO to sort of resume the trial once again after it took call looking at looking at the paper which was retracted, and of course, several clinicians who also said that the paper was not strong enough on the basis of which for WHO to take a call. This has been the case so far. This week, there was a new paper that was released again about HCQ by this study is called the recovery trial, which is being run by the United Kingdom government. This had 10,000 patients enrolled in the HCQ arm, and this was one of the most watched out paper, which had perhaps would give the scientific community a definitive answer whether the drug works or not. And this paper said that there has been no added benefit with the use of HCQ vis-a-vis a standard of care treatment, which perhaps has come to the conclusion where we can say that the scientific community says that there is enough evidence that shows that the drug does not work in treating COVID-19 patients, severely ill COVID-19 patients, because it's still being used as a for moderate patients. But we don't have the study that proves again if the drug is effective or not. Let's come to the context of India. What is India doing? Again, India is using the drug in two settings. One setting is in the hospital settings as a treatment option in combination with erythromycin, which is another antibacterial drug. This is done because as I've been speaking to several hospitals and doctors, they said that this drug was included because we don't have any other treatment options. And with the lack of treatment options, they are sort of going back to something which is easily available and that can be administered to patients. Again, the efficacy of it is questionable. So that is one arm where India still continues to use HCQ. The second arm of HCQ is used as a prophylaxis treatment. This is specifically for healthcare workers, doctors, nurses who are on the front line of COVID duty. For them, this drug, along with PPE, observational and anecdotal evidence has shown that drug works as a prophylactic. However, new studies are emerging which is still not conclusively proven that it has any prophylactic effect at all. It is interesting that in this entire debate about HCQ used as a drug for COVID-19, the rheumatoid arthritis and lupus patients have been sort of have suddenly become confused because there's so many reports that has come in that says the use of drug caused heart attacks and of course mortality. That the rheumatoid arthritis and lupus patients have been wondering that they've been taking this drug for so long, what happens to them? However, WHO and several physicians have come out and said that the drug is safe for the patients of rheumatoid arthritis and lupus, and they should continue to take it so. So this has been the controversy of HCQ, which had perhaps lost its significance for quite some time. The 50-year-old drug suddenly has captured everyone's imagination, but hopefully we should see with new evidence emerging that the scientific community and drug companies perhaps need to work on newer treatment options for COVID-19.